Hello everyone, my name is John, I'm the Geeky Fanboy, and welcome back to my channel where today we are starting the wrap-up videos for 2024. So as always, I'm gonna cover all the things that I read, watched, played this year, and we're starting it off with the games I played in 2024. Now, I know that I don't really talk that much about video games on this channel, but video games are still a large part of my life. It's one of my favorite hobbies, one of my favorite things I do to unwind. So just here at the end of the year, as always, I would like to just tell you a bit about some of the games I played. I'm gonna rank them, shortly give like some little reviews, just so that you know what I've been up to in terms of gaming. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, so here we are, the games of 2024. I don't think quite as many as last year, but the main games are like down at the bottom, and then I didn't really have that much space anymore, and I put the rest sort of up there. And we're gonna start off with some DLC stuff that I was able to play this year. And we're starting off with some Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. So first off, we have the DLC Goku's Next Journey. So this is basically set after, 10 years later, the end of the Dragon Ball Z anime where Goku's trying to find Oop, all that story. I did quite like this DLC. It's one I've played most recently, and I just lost my poster. Here it is, and I think I enjoyed this one quite a lot. So I'm gonna say it was good fun. So next up we have another DLC, namely we have the 23rd World Tournament, which is basically sort of like the final arc of the original Dragon Ball story, which I actually read for the first time in 2023 and 2024. So I'm actually going through the original Dragon Ball manga for the first time. I've only really grown up with the anime, so I'm reading through the manga, and I was so excited to finally be able to like read the original story like from the get-go. However, with this DLC, I did enjoy it because, it's Dragon Ball and sort of this final arc of the original Dragon Ball series. 23rd World Tournament is some of my favorite content from that original anime. For DLC, for gaming, it was alright, probably a bit overpriced for what we were given. I felt like I didn't have as much to do in this DLC as I did in the 10 years later DLC. And I probably wouldn't necessarily replay this DLC. It was alright. I still had fun with it. I'm maybe gonna put it like down here because I don't think I had as much fun with it as with the other one, but it was still alright. Like, as a fan of the franchise, I still had fun with it, and I would recommend it to fans of the game and of the anime. Next up, we have the first of many more Sonic contents, namely, we have the Sonic Frontiers DLC, the Final Horizon, which gave us some extra stuff to do, gave us the opportunity to finally play as Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, and also gave us an alternate ending to the game. Now, Sonic Frontiers was one of my absolute favorite games in 2023. I'm a big Sonic fan. As you will see, I'm also trying to get through like some of the other games for the first time. So I was excited to like go back into Sonic Frontiers. I also haven't like done everything there is to do in Sonic Frontiers, but I've played through like most of it. Played through the entire story and all that. Got the alternate ending. The tower trials were tough as nails. Like I did have like one or two rage quit moments, I think, when I played this, but it was a good challenge. Like, it was a challenge I thought was doable. Like, it wasn't too hard, and I think it worked really well for this game. And the fact that you were able to like finally play as some of the other characters was fun. So I'm gonna put this as good fun because I thought it was a good extension to the original game. Now, there are gonna be some Switch and Nintendo games on here because guess who finally got himself a Nintendo Switch way too late? Because now the Nintendo Switch 2 is being announced, but who cares? So let's cover those real quick. We have some Mario content to get through. We got Mario Party Superstars, because you gotta have a fun. You gotta have a good Mario Party game, and I thought Mario Party Superstars was fun. I wish there would be more boards to play as. I'm also kind of mad I don't get to play as my favorite Mario Party character, which is Dry Bones. But I do like all the mini games. I haven't played the newest Mario Party at Jamboree, but it looks fun though. I did have a lot of fun with this game, and it was a lot of fun to play this with my friends at my birthday party. So I'm gonna say that this was good fun, and we're gonna stick with games I played at my birthday party, which is Mario Kart 8. I mean, what can I say? It's Mario Kart. Like, Mario Kart is always fun. I think I haven't got like the extension yet, so I don't have even like all the courses yet. But Mario Kart 8 still good fun. It's a classic for a reason. Even though I'm wondering when the hell are we finally gonna get a new Mario Kart? Please give us one. I need Mario Karts. Just good fun. I need it. And the last one we have sort of in this series is Smash Brothers Ultimate. I haven't played a Smash Brothers since Super Smash Brothers Melee on the GameCube, on this old thing, and I loved Melee, and I was so excited to finally be able to play. I know this is a couple of years old already, this game, but I was so excited to finally be able to play this. In case you're wondering who my main is, it's mostly Link, adult Link. Anyone with a sword really is good, but like sort of adult Link is sort of what I'm going for. Also, like the Fire Emblem characters. I've never played a Fire Emblem game in my life. I don't know who these people are, but they have swords. I'm good with characters with swords. I'm gonna put this here because I do have good fun with it. I don't really have any friends to play it with, really. But I don't know, I'm still having fun with it, and I really wanted to play a Smash Brothers game again, and for that I had good fun with it. Okay, now let's go into the proper games I played this year. And let's start off with one that I actually mentioned in my 2023 video game video last year. At the time I hadn't finished it yet. Namely, let's talk One Piece Odyssey. And in my 2023 video, I said I haven't finished it yet, but it's not looking that good in terms of me liking this game. And this is basically, it was confirmed. This was probably my least favorite game that I played this year, to be honest. Like, I love One Piece. I love the world. I love the characters. I enjoy hanging out with these people. I enjoy being able to play as my favorite characters. But this game honestly got so annoying after a while. Like, you get so many like fetch quests and walking quests, and you constantly get interrupted by cutscenes all the time. Like, you will get a quest and you're like, okay, walk 10 steps that way, and you get interrupted by a cutscene that plays out for 2 minutes, and then you walk another like 20 steps for a minute, and then you get another cutscene. It's so annoying how many times you were interrupted, and then it's just like, you go there and to pick up that stuff, and oh no, you actually need to like travel back to that other world from 5 hours ago to pick up that stuff, and that wouldn't be too annoying if it only happened now and then, but this happened so many times while I played this game, and it was just so annoying to get through. And also, I'm honestly mad at this game for not letting me be able to play as my favorite character for that long, because my favorite character is Brooke, and Brooke is playable in like the last 2 chapters or something of the game. Like, you don't unlock him until like way later in the game for story reasons, for whatever reason, and it's just annoying. Like, there are some characters, like Brooke and Frankie, I think, are like the 2 characters you unlock last, like pretty late in the story. And I'm like, yeah, great. Like, I don't get to play my favorite character for the majority of the story yet. Like, you will have already played through most of the story by the time you unlock Brooke. I'm like, cool. That didn't really give me anything. I don't like the turn-based combat in this. I'm not the biggest fan of turn-based combat in general, but I was willing to like give it a try because it's One Piece, and I was like, it's not really giving me anything. It's like a rock paper scissors system, but it got real boring real fast because you just like spam the same things over and over again. Long story short, this was probably my least favorite game this year. So signing in should have just quit playing. Next up we got two Avatar The Last Airbender games, actually. So let's start with this one, Burning Earth. This is an old game, actually. I got this one for the Xbox because, you know, I had my yearly Avatar The Last Airbender rewatch, and then you just get into the other media, and I'll pick up some video games. Burning Earth is basically like you play through the story of Book 2, Earth, of the show. Some differences here and there as to how the story works. Some stuff is rearranged as to how the story like actually unfolds in the game. I think you can also play this in co-op, so I played a large part of this game together with my girlfriend, which was quite fun since we're both big fans of the show. And we're actually going to the World Tour Live concert in 2025, so we're quite hyped, and the game was good there. It was okay. Like, it's an older game, but still fun though, I would argue. So I'm gonna put it here. Now the next one was a bit of controversial when it came out. So Avatar: The Quest for Balance is like the most recent game, I think, like the most recent video game adaptation of the franchise, and it's like basically just a retelling of the story of the original show, and that in and of itself to me isn't like the biggest problem. I know like we could do better games. We could do games like we could do like an Avatar Last Airbender open world RPG. That would be amazing if we could get that. But I don't mind playing through the story of the show again. A lot of people hated this game for how it presented the story, the characters, the game mechanics, and all that. And yes, it does have its flaws, I will say. Like, we played large parts of this in co-op, and it works, but it kind of sucks that the cameras only focus on player one. So player two is kind of just like sort of off going by themselves. That kind of sucked. Some of the game mechanics were a bit simplistic, a bit boring. Some stuff was a bit finicky, and yes, this does feel like not a jump and run, but you know, like a classic adventure platformer from 2008. Personally, I will say I don't mind that all that much. Like, I don't think I had a super bad time with this. There were some infuriating moments in this. I won't deny that, but I don't think I hated this as much as most other people did. So I will say, it's gonna go in. It's like between and probably not playing again. Like, not playing again is unfair. It wasn't that bad. But I would also be lying if I said I'm gonna play this again. So I'm gonna put it there, but with the caveat that I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. Next up, we got more Sonic. We have Sonic Colors Ultimate, which is the remake of Sonic Colors. I've never actually played the original Sonic Colors. I like dropped off for a while of Sonic for some reason. So Sonic Colors was one of the games I just missed out on at the time. So with now this remaster, I was able to play it. And Sonic Colors is alright. Honestly, I think it's a bit... I think it's regarded as a good game within the larger Sonic franchise. But I will say that there were parts in this that made me really angry, that I just didn't like, that were just infuriatingly designed or unfairly designed. I don't know if that's due to the original game or due to the remaster. This game's the only experience I have of Sonic Colors. And this doesn't necessarily have the biggest replay value for me. Like, I didn't enjoy this as much as I did some other games. And the Wisps are alright. Like, they're a fun gimmick for this one game. I don't like how they kept using them in later games. Some of them more fun than others. I don't know. I just don't think I warmed up to this game as much as large parts of the Sonic community, and I'm not sure if I would actually play this again. So I'm I'm gonna say because I don't think I enjoyed this as much as other people did. So, speaking of which, similar sentiment, but slightly different. Gotham Knights. Let's talk about Gotham Knights. I know I'm a bit late on that one. But Gotham Knights I wanted to play for a while. Earlier in the year I had my big get back into DC Comics Batman stuff phase, which I have like 2 or 3 times every year. And I wanted to play something that was similar to the Arkham games, and I was like, hey, Gotham Knights was a thing that came out. And I know that Gotham Knights had sort of more of a mixed review, I think. I don't think people liked it that much, and I don't really see why. Like, I haven't finished the entire story yet of Gotham Knights, but I've put a good couple of hours into this game, mind you, and I have fun with this game. Honestly, I'm just having a lot of fun with this, just being able to like choose who you want to play from the Bat family, and then you just get to go out and parole Gotham at night, stop various crimes. I just like that. I just like being able to explore Gotham and solve crimes. Just it gives me really this feeling of I am a member of the Bat family. This is like sort of what their day-to-day life is like. This is what they now have to do with, given the premise that this is not a spoiler, it's literally the beginning of the game, that Batman is dead, and now they have to take care of Gotham. They have to deal with the Rogues Gallery, and you get to interact with like some of the famous villains of the Batman lore. And I like how it, through like little cutscenes, it also explores the characters, how they deal with Bruce's death, how they reflect on their relationship, like with Bruce and with each other. I like that. I think you can spend some good time in this game. I just had a lot of fun just like booting up this game and just like hanging out in Gotham, just stopping some crime. Like it's kind of a relaxing game in that regard. And I will say there are definitely going to be better games in this, but just because I had so much fun with it and it was one of my favorite games to play. Mind you, this is not literal heaven. This is not literally one of the best games I've ever played, but like out of the games I've played this year, this was one of my favorites, and I just had a good time with it, and I like spending time in this game. Speaking of a game that I like to spend time in, let's talk Cyberpunk 2077. Now, I've wanted to play Cyberpunk for ages. Ever since it came out, I wanted to play it. I just didn't have a console to play it with at the time. I didn't even mind that. At the time when the game first came out, I know it was very buggy, a lot of glitches and all that. I didn't even mind that all that much. I still wanted to play it because it just looked so cool. I love the Cyberpunk aesthetic. Obviously, we have Keanu Reeves in there. Keanu Reeves is always good. I like the idea of like being able to explore Night City as a setting. Like I had no idea of the Cyberpunk tabletop RPG of this world, and I was really excited to get to know it. And then I finally got the opportunity to play this game this year, and it's gotten so many updates. It's got DLCs, and this game, and I don't think I'm exaggerating here, is literally one of the best games of all time. Like, I've spent so much time in this game. Like, my girlfriend as well, we played it together. Like, we started playing it with, like, a character we both made together. By the time we finished the story, which was only a couple of weeks ago, after 6 months of playing, we had spent almost, not quite 200 hours, but, like, at least 160 hours with one character alone to finish our one main playthrough. Plus 40 hours for the character my girlfriend made, plus another 50 hours for the character I made. So like we've played a combined almost like more than between 200 and 300 hours of this game this year alone. That because this game, it's so vast, it's so extensive, you get to do so many things. Like character creation, great, I love it. It's so inclusive, it's so diverse. You get to do so many things just by like how you want to look, cyber implants and all that. You get to do whatever you want. Honestly, the only thing I don't like is how your gender is like tied to what voice you choose. And I don't think that there are gender neutral they them pronouns. That's like the only thing that I'm sort of missing in this. But apart from that, character creation, brilliant. And then Night City. Night City is such a good setting. And it's just so much fun to just spend time in Night City, like driving your motorcycle, driving your car through the town, just looking at stuff, going on quests, doing something for a fixer, solving a crime, committing a crime, whatever you want to do. It's just so much fun to like just spend time in this game. Not even necessarily following the mainline story, which is great as well, but just hanging around in this game is so much fun because there's so much to see. There's so many different characters, there's so many different backgrounds and stories you can encounter. It's such a vast and big, diverse world that you're in. You can do so much in, and on top of that is a main story with like a couple of different main story threads as well that are so interesting that you get to explore. You get to know some of these characters that are really tragic, really interesting, and you just feel like you really understand who they are, and you are able to like interact with them, give it your own spin, because it's your V. You get to play how you want to play this. At the same time, you have like this um strained love-hate relationship with Keanu Reeves' character, Johnny Silverhand, who's like this um dead former like punk rock star who's now stuck in your head. And I just love having commentary from Johnny on everything all the time, and I love how this game is able to make you hate this guy but also sympathize with him, because he's stuck in your head. He's there all the time and you want to like him also because it's Keanu Reeves, but at the same time the game manages to be like, you know what, he is kind of an asshole, and we're not hiding that. He is an asshole, and you don't always have to agree with him. Like, I like how this game manages to sort of go with both sides, that you can empathize with Johnny, but also kind of dislike him. And I could go on for hours how I just really, really love this game, and it's now become one of my favorite games of all time. But we would sit here for literal hours if I did that. So let me just tell you that this game goes up into gaming heaven, as it was one of my favorite games this year, and basically one of the best games I have ever played. Now let's move on to more stuff I played on Nintendo Switch. Namely, let's talk about some Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. This is a game my girlfriend really wanted to play because it's the one Zelda game that she really remembers from their younger days. I grew up with like Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess, and I haven't really played any of the newer games. And Skyward Sword was a game I hadn't actually played it, so we picked up the HD remaster for the Nintendo Switch. We're not quite through with the story yet. We're almost at the end. We're like as good as there, and yeah, like I love the mix of this. That this sort of feels like Wind Waker a little bit, but also not quite. It also feels a bit like Twilight Princess, but not quite. I love that you can see that this takes influences from like all kinds of Zelda games throughout the Zelda canon, which I quite like. I think it has a pretty unique setting and aesthetic within the Zelda canon from what I've played, considering that it's like set in the sky and you have like this culture that's around like being able to fly around. No one really knows what's going on like below the clouds, and you're sort of the first person to explore all that. And it's just really fun to be able to see like some of the origin of the Zelda lore, since this is canonically like the first Zelda game within the storyline. And I'm really having fun with it. I actually also don't mind the temples too much in this, like, because I'm just bad at riddles. Which is why I'm always struggling so much with the temples in this game. But since I'm also not playing this by myself, and I think also this game makes a good job of making it not too easy, but also not too hard to solve these puzzles and to solve these temples, I had a lot of fun with it. And I'm honestly really excited to see where this story will go. So let's say I had good fun with it. Now let's talk Forza. Hey, like I talked Forza Horizon 5 last year, and then I got Forza Horizon 4 this year, because this is the original one I actually really, really want to play, because this one is set in Britain. I really wanted to see what it was like. And even though this is not as extensive as Forza Horizon 5, This is still a lot of fun. I just love the Forza Horizon series because it's just so much fun to spend time in the games, just driving around, not even necessarily doing races. It's just fun to drive around the map, see the houses, see the locations, take photos, and all that. It's just a good time. I don't think this is, since this is not quite as extensive as 5, I'm gonna put it here. But I think this just goes to show that they keep improving on this series, because this one was already quite fun, and Forza Horizon 5 was even better. So there you go. Now let's come to probably the oldest game on this list. Let's talk Shadow the Hedgehog. So you could argue that I played this in preparation of the new Sonic X Shadow Generations game and the new movie that's coming out just in a couple of days, which I'm really, really excited about. And I've always wanted to play the Shadow the Hedgehog game, even though I knew that it's considered to be one of the worst games in the franchise. But Shadow is my favorite character in the Sonic franchise, and I love these like early 2000s, mid 2000s Sonic games. You know, Sonic Adventure 2 is still my favorite Sonic game. Sonic Heroes, great. And now I finally was able to play Shadow the Hedgehog on the GameCube, and it's not good. It's not, by any means, it's not a great game. I still kind of had fun with it though. Like, yes, I did have my ragey moments while playing this, because some of the missions in this game are infuriatingly stupid or way too complicated. Like artificial chaos on the Ark, we know the ones. The thing is, I think Shadow the Hedgehog, the game, has some good ideas. Like, I like the idea of like branching story paths, so you can sort of choose how you want to represent Shadow as a character. And I do like many of the level designs that are presented in the game. The thing is, the mission idea, like the missions you have to do in this game to like sort of get on the different paths, I mostly didn't like. I wish they had sort of had been able to implement this idea of dark, neutral, and good in a different way, or at least do different missions. Like, a lot of them are like, defeat 30 robots, kill 50 gun soldiers, find this thing, or follow a car or a plane or whatever, and that's it. They're really boring. Sometimes they're unnecessarily long or hard. Like, instead of like find 30 robots and kill them in a level, it's like, no, you have to find literally every single robot in this level, and there's like 70, and if you miss a single one, you have to go back and replay the whole level to find this one robot you missed. You know, and this can lead to some stages being like up to, I'm not kidding you, 30 minutes long. Like, I spent 30 minutes in the stupid Ark level trying to find the artificial chaos. The thing was, with that level, fun fact, I had all of them except one. I knew where I missed it. I just didn't find my way back because the Ark levels are designed in such a shitty way that there's no way to like keep orientation or whatever. So again, some good ideas in Shadow the Hedgehog, I think. Some good ideas. And I'm actually gonna say that this goes in the air category. Like, because I would actually replay. I'd have replayed some of the levels in Shadow the Hedgehog. Like, if you just do neutral mission, like run through levels neutrally, just like reach the end goal or something, as you usually do in Sonic games. And that part, like the Shadow game works pretty well. Like the mechanics take some getting used to, the physics. But again, I think this game has good elements. I don't think it's maybe as bad as some people have made it out to be. It's by no means great. It really isn't. But I think it does have some value to a certain degree. Now let's talk about another game I was really, really excited about this year. This was probably my most anticipated game release of this year. Life is Strange Double Exposure. So this is the newest Life is Strange game. Max Caulfield returns. And I think opinions are very divided on this game. Like, I've heard so many people rag on this game, calling it like the worst Life is Strange of all time, one of the worst games they've played this year even. And really, like, come on. Like, I get that maybe it's not your favorite Life is Strange, but like, do you need to shit on it that much? Like, Like, I will agree, it's not my favorite of the Life is Strange games. My favorite is probably still True Colors, I think. But I still have fun. I still have fun with double exposure. Just because it's the Life is Strange universe. I love the Life is Strange's universe, even if there are elements to some of the games that I don't like. But I just love hanging out with the characters, being able to explore moral dilemmas, philosophical dilemmas, just discovering the background stories of characters, having my emotions put into a mixer and blended into an absolute chaotic mess. This is what I play Life is Strange for, and I think this game still gave me that. Yes, I will agree, the ending is a bit weird. I will agree that the first couple of chapters of the game are better than the later chapters of the game. Yes, but the atmosphere of this game is so good. Like, it's peak Life is Strange atmosphere with Max being like this live-in artist slash teacher at that university, and I think the university campus is quite fun and very Life is Strange. Like, it's set in winter, which I quite like. Everything is snowy, and I just think it has this peak Life is Strange atmosphere as you get to know the students, the teachers, you get involved in their personal business. You snoop around a little bit too much, using Max's new powers, and you find out their emotional backgrounds. You try to see how can you help them, how might you hinder them, like, is there more to them than meets the eye? Like, all these classic Life is Strange elements are in double exposure. I think I like Max. She's a grown-up or older version of the character we saw in the original game. Like, some people were like, oh, she doesn't even look like Max, and oh, she's so different. I'm like, yeah, because she's like literally 10 years older. She's grown up. She's not a teenager anymore. I think in the game she's literally the age I am now. I think Max is supposed to be around 27 years old or something, right? In this, if it's like 10 years later from the original game. And I like Max. I like Max's characterization. She's still this sort of introverted, shy person, but she has grown up. She is able to, like, sort of deal with some of those feelings a bit better. She's able to express herself a bit more. She's grown more confident of herself, of her art, of her photography. You can see that she is still who she was from the first game, but that she is 10 years older, that she's grown up, that she's matured somewhat. I think you can see that. I know some people were upset about how Chloe was dealt with in the game, which I honestly, it's alright. Honestly, I do not mind. I love Chloe very dearly. I love Chloe. No, I did not save her, just as a hint. But I still love Chloe a lot. But she's a flawed character. She's an interesting character, and I love her. And I love her relationship with Max. But what they did in regards to, like, what's their relationship like, depending on what you've chosen within the game, it's okay. Because I honestly always thought that this is how it would go, that all of these characters got. So to me, it made sense, and I honestly didn't mind that much. And some people really just need to get their knickers in, like, don't get your knickers in a twist about some of this stuff. Like, chill. Um, Long story short, a lot of fun with this. One of my favorite games I played this year. Life is Strange can do almost no wrong, in my opinion. I was very excited about this game. It made me feel things again. That's all it needs to do. So now on for the last two, which is more Sonic content. I already mentioned it. Sonic X Shadow Generations was released this year. So Sonic X Shadow Generations is like a remaster slash remake, I'm not quite sure, of the I think 2010 Sonic Generations game, and now they added a bunch of content. Like, Shadow, for the first time in years, is finally a main playable character again. Like, my boy finally getting his time to shine again. And I loved it. Like, I'm not kidding you when I tell you this game made me cry. I know, sounds bloody ridiculous, but honestly, the way they handled Shadow's character, how they were able to include stuff from the past, from the shitty Shadow the Hedgehog game, how they were able to include stuff with him and his relationship to Dr. Robotnik and to Maria was so good. Like, when, like, it's revealed how he got his name, and just to see what his relationship with Maria was like and could be if she was still alive was so heartwarming and so emotionally wrecking. Like it was honestly really, really great. And I think this game really was able to like combine many elements that we've seen of Shadow's character in the past. I love that they didn't ignore the Shadow the Hedgehog game from 2005. That they were like, yeah, we know it was a shitty game, but we're not going to ignore it for canon. We're going to include it. We're going to embrace it, actually. I love that. This is what Sonic is supposed to do. Like, it shouldn't ignore like the blunders it had in the past, because they were still there, and there was probably some good stuff in those games, and this is what you do with it. You can use remasters, remakes to do it better, and this is what this game does. And I honestly had a really, really, really fun time with this. This is probably like my favorite Sonic content I played this year. So I think I'm actually going to put this up here as well, because I mean, it's literally the game that made me cry this year, apart from Cyberpunk. So honestly, great time, and you just get to replay Sonic Generations again as well, which was a good game as well. And last but by no means least, a game I haven't quite finished yet, but I'm basically there, almost there. Sonic Superstars. So I played Sonic Superstars on the Switch because I thought it was it would be a good idea for like a handheld game, because you know it's like 2D, sort of made to look like the classic games, and I'm usually not that good at like classic Sonic or 2D Sonic. I'm doing alright with Sonic Superstars. I'm currently stuck at a really annoying boss that's way too hard and has taken me like 10 minutes to even get close to defeating, and I still haven't defeated it yet. You might be able to guess where I'm at. But regardless of that, up until this point, I have enjoyed Sonic Superstars. Honestly, solid 2D platforming. Nothing all that special, really, but it's not bad. It's by no means bad. Like, I could very well see myself pick this up again now and then. Like, it's really fun. Like, a handheld game really gives you sort of nostalgic vibes. By no means like a must play for Sonic fans, I would argue. But if, like me, you're always on the lookout for like Sonic content and are wondering if this is a good game, it's fun. Like, don't expect too much, but it's fun. It's got some fun level design as well. You get to play as all the main characters, even with some alternate like nostalgic designs to some of them, which I quite like. And I think it's a good mix of like modern and old school Sonic, which I quite like. So let's put it here for good fun and finish it up for today. Okay, yeah, so that's it for the ranking of all the games I played in 2024. And any games in here that you have played this year or in the past, please do let me know down in the comments below what some of your opinions are on the games I've ranked here. Did I have some unpopular opinions? Who knows? But let me know down in the comments below. And also feel free to let me know what some of your favorite or not so favorite games were that you played this year. I'm always looking out for new gaming recommendations. And feel free to let me know. Drop something down in the comments below. That's it from me for now. You can be on the lookout for more 2024 wrap-up videos. I'm going to put up a movie ranking list where I do a similar thing for like all the movies and miniseries I've watched this year, and then of course I'm going to talk about all the books I've read in 2024, ranking some of the best and worst books I've read this year. So keep an eye out for that. But until then, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done already, and I'll see all of you very soon.